Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And I am back after a 2-week trip, almost 2-week trip road trip that my husband and I took. And I am home, and I am so happy to be home. I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you guys. And of course, this is Coffee with Crystal today, and it seems like forever since I sat down in front of a camera to talk with you guys. So I'm just really excited about being home. And today I'm also going to talk to you about pacing ourselves and giving ourselves grace. All right, ladies, grab your cup of coffee and let's chat. So yes, hubby and I took an almost 2-week road trip, and we had so much fun. I cannot even tell you. So I had left a community tab post letting you guys know, and then if you follow me on Instagram, every day I do a daily post under the stories section, and so I was sharing little snippets of the trip with you all. It was really nice. We had some family that came and stayed at the house while we were gone, so we did not have to worry about anything, and it was just, one of those things that was really needed. We had been planning the trip for quite a while, actually. We were mostly waiting for it to be warm enough where the mountain passes and things like that no longer had snow, and we didn't have to worry about any of that type of stuff. And the days just kind of all came together. I think my husband's whole tooth thing, which I've shared in the past, his tooth issues, they kind of delayed us by another week. But once we were past all that, we were ready to go. We were raring to go. So we packed up our van. We have a big full-size Sprinter van, and we bought it after my husband retired with the intention of converting it into a camper van. And we have, I should say my husband, has done a lot of the conversion. It's not complete, but it's just one of those projects you just work on a little here and a little there, but it is enough for us. We've got a place to sleep, we have a place to store all our things, I can cook in there if I need to, or put food together, whatnot, and so it works for us, and we just loaded that up and headed on down the road. Road trips are something that my husband and I really wanted to do more of once he retired. And we've done some here and there. So our destination was Arizona. We have a daughter and her husband and kids that live down there, and we really wanted to go see them. We did the same thing last year. This year we decided to take kind of a different route, and we ended up going down through Utah, and then finally into Arizona. Now, when we were in Utah, we did not do like the Mighty Five, they called them, Moab and Zion and Bryce Canyon and all that. We did not do that because that would have stretched out the trip probably for 3 weeks if we had tried to put in all that. So for this trip, we just kind of went down through more the west side of Utah and just got to see such beautiful country. Everywhere we drove, it was beautiful. It's amazing to see God's creation and God's beauty all around as we put in a lot of miles, though. We did end up driving about 3,500 miles in total in those 2 weeks. So we were on the road a lot. But like I said, it was a lot of fun. So we kind of took our time and getting down to my daughter's. After we went down through Utah, then we entered into Arizona, and we went to the Grand Canyon. Neither my husband nor I had ever been to the Grand Canyon, so we were super excited for that. And if we go back there another time, we will take more time. We took an entire day in the park, and we went in on the south rim and did the typical visitor center and walked all around there and a few other places where you can pull over and see how gorgeous that was. And of course, I'm taking lots and lots of pictures and videos, and I'm hoping to kind of condense everything and put it together in a reel or something like that at some point, just to share a little bit more. But I have not had time to do that since I've been home. I have just been trying to get my life back together, you know. Anyway, so we saw the Grand Canyon, and then we headed over to the town of Winslow, Arizona. My husband and I, many, many years ago, were big fans of the band The Eagles, and they have a song called Take It Easy, and one of the words in the song is standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. So if you're familiar with that song, then you know what I'm talking about. Well, if you go into Winslow, Arizona, they have the corner there, and they have the statues of the two of the band people, and then it says, you know, Winslow, Arizona, and whatever. And so everybody goes, gets their picture taken. It was actually pretty busy, and people take each other's pictures and stuff like that. And so we went into some gift shops and walked around and just had such a fun day doing that. And then eventually we finally made it down to my daughter's, and it was so nice. She has a pool in the backyard of the house they're living in now, and so lots of time spent with grandkids and cooling off in the pool and just really enjoying making some good family memories with that. And then when we were done with that, we just pretty much turned around, headed back up through Nevada, Oregon, and finally home to Washington. But it was, like I said, it was a fantastic trip. But I cannot tell you how happy I am to be home. I felt so good driving up our driveway and after the trip and just being home again. I was like, yes. And of course, at that point, I had all these ideas and I was just going to jump back into action and I was going to do this. And of course, I get home and there's the unpacking and the laundry and stuff. And boy, let me tell you, I felt very exhausted. I think that's the best way to put it. I didn't realize even during the trip how much I was exhausted. I was sleeping good every night, but just the change of routine and the change of environment and being on the road, it was exhausting. Anyway, and so that's why I'm going to talk to you a little bit about pacing ourselves and giving ourselves grace, which I'll do here in a few minutes. But like I said, I am just so happy to be back home and so happy to be sitting here and doing a coffee with Crystal with you guys. Just so much fun. So I'm just going to start like I normally do with these videos. What do you guys have going on in your kitchen today? Or what have you had in the last few days going on in your kitchen? I think it's so important that we continue to keep the cooking and the baking and the caring for our home and the caring for our family as something that's really valuable and important. And my desire has always been that people who watch this and then read the comments and things, that they can see all the wonderful little homemaking things that you all have going on. And of course, I always ask, what's for dinner? What kind of things are you guys cooking up for dinner? So in my kitchen, I'll start with that. I came home with a lot of ideas of things that I needed to do because before I left for 2 weeks, I pretty much had used up everything in my refrigerator other than condiments, and I needed to start all over again, get some food. So I had all these ideas. Again, they didn't get very far, but I did come home and throw a pot roast in the crock pot the next day. I still had leftovers of things we had bought while we were on the road, so we kind of just had all that together. And then last night, I took that pot roast. Oh, and by the way, I seasoned the pot roast a little differently. I kind of wanted a Mexican theme for it, and I did not get that filmed, unfortunately, because it turned out so delicious. And basically, I just sliced up a couple of sweet onions. They were small, and laid those in the crock pot. I put my roast in there, which was just a little over a pound of chuck roast, and then I seasoned it with salt and pepper and garlic and onion powder and then taco seasoning. And then I took a small can of green enchilada sauce and just poured that over, put the lid on, and let that cook all day. And it cooked for probably 8 to 9 hours, and the meat was just literally falling apart, and they had all these wonderful juices in there and tasted fantastic. So the second night, we had finished off all the other leftovers, and I still had pot roast left, so I took that pot roast and reheated it, shredded it up really well, and then filled up corn tortillas with it, put those in a pan, with a little bit of cheese. Then I took all those juices from the crock pot and just kind of poured that over the top. Can you call that an enchilada? I don't know. It didn't matter. It was delicious. And added a little more cheese, popped that in the oven to reheat it, and we really enjoyed that a lot. Okay, so I have a little bit of that left over tonight. But the other thing that I did was we came home, and after being in 90 plus degree heat, we came home to barely 60 degrees, cloudy and rainy at least the following day or two, and I wanted some soup. So I had a butternut squash, and I had some carrots still in the refrigerator. So I took the butternut squash and the carrots and I roasted those and then put them in with some onions that I had cooked in the pot first. I did the old stick blender, some water with some chicken broth powder in there, and added a bunch of milk to that to thin it to the consistency. So even though kind of a Mexican enchilada type thing, and soup like that doesn't seem like it goes together, but it did. It was really good. So I have more of that soup left over tonight, and I have a little bit of the enchilada. So I'm not sure if I'll have to add anything to that or not. I may just make a salad or something like that and call it good for tonight. We'll see. But that's what I've had going on in my kitchen. Oh, and I would love today or tomorrow to get some cookies made because, like I said, we are out of everything. But we'll see, because I still need to edit this video and get that uploaded so it'll be ready for you guys tomorrow. But anyway, that's what I've had going on my kitchen, and that's what I've got my plans for dinner. So in the comments below, would you please let me know what kind of things have you been cooking in your kitchen, and what kind of stuff are you serving for dinner tonight? I would really like to know that, and like I said, leave it for other ladies to see as well. Okay, now on to the concept of pacing ourselves. It's really interesting to me because as I've gotten older, what I've realized is that I'm not 30 anymore. I remember going off and doing things with the kids, and then we come home and I would just jump right back into my days, into my life. I like to be productive. I like to make the best use of time in my day. And sometimes I find that at certain points in the day, I'm just like, I just need to stop and take a break. And I've also had to readjust how much is realistic for me to get done nowadays, because I'm always thinking that the example is back when I was in my 30s, when I had all my little kids at home, and how busy I was and how much I got accomplished. And so, that's my standard. Like, I should be able to accomplish those things, and I can't anymore. I just don't have the energy for it. And I'm curious with any of you ladies, are you the same? Do you find it to be the same, where you feel like, you just can't do now, as you're getting more birthdays behind you, you can't do now what you did years ago? And the concept of pacing ourselves. I had a dear friend that had sent me an email, and we were having a conversation about pacing ourselves. And it was like, yeah, you have to that's what I do. I kind of section out my day as I go along and know that periodically I need to take breaks. And this is what I can accomplish nowadays. And that looks different than it did all those years ago. And so let me know if you are feeling the same. So when I got home from the trip, like I said, my excitement at being home again, my excitement at getting back into my own routines, because that's what I love, the excitement of things to cook and bake and laundry to do, all the things that need to be done. I was actually really excited to be back. And so day number one, I just dove right in. I got that pot roast going. I started laundry. I started doing this. I started doing that. And all of a sudden realized that I was literally exhausted. Like, I can hardly keep my eyes open type exhausted. And I ended up laying down and taking a nap. It was a very good choice for me to do that. And by the next day, again, I'm up trying to get more done. I tried to film this video 2 days ago, but I needed to take care of this and that. And then I'd find myself back to feeling really exhausted and just having to take extra long coffee breaks or whatnot. And I just realized that that is okay. That is just where I am at right now in my life, that I just can't do and accomplish and put out in a day what I used to do, and that after taking a big long trip and realizing that it took a lot out of me, it was okay for me to need a couple days to recover. I even asked myself, am I getting sick? What is going on with me? I'm not. I'm fine. This morning I woke up and all of a sudden it was like, I'm back. I have that spark. I feel rested. I feel great. And I am ready to tackle the world now. I am ready to do a video and to get all the things done and cook that food and do those things and spend some time with my grandkids this week and basically get myself back into my life again. It's happened. And it's so easy at those times when we are struggling maybe with something, or we're tired, or things have just been stressful for whatever reasons, that we can get frustrated with ourselves, which is what was happening to me. I was getting frustrated with myself, going, what's going on? And I realized that the lesson that I need to be reminded of, because I am very aware of this, but I needed to remind myself that I need grace. I need to give myself grace. I am the type of person that easily extends grace to other people. I'm very understanding. I'm very compassionate. I'm very much aware that people struggle with things and that people around us need the grace. They need that grace. They need to see our love. And so I am somebody that will easily extend grace to people that I meet. But when it comes to myself, I really struggle with giving myself that same grace. It goes right back to the famous saying now that I have. I put it on my daily to-do list and all that, is Jesus is enough. And that is the grace that we need to embrace, that He is enough to cover that, and that it is okay for us to realize that we will have down times. I remember talking to somebody, my sister-in-law, I think, but anyway, and we were talking about the fact that she's a very productive person too, and then she has days where she just doesn't even want to get up off the couch because she's so exhausted. And it's like you have to give yourself permission, for people that are, I don't want to say high functioning, but if you are somebody that just gets things done in a day, it's like you have to give yourself permission to say, it's okay for me to have a day off. It is okay for me to recover. It is okay for me to rest. It is what my body needs, and it's what I need mentally as well. So anyway, that's kind of where I was on my pacing ourselves, giving ourselves grace during times that it's needed, and to realize it is okay. The last thing I wanted to share with you in this video is something that I picked up for myself. I don't know, before we left on our trip for sure, which is where I knew that it was the most amazing thing ever. As I got myself a new water bottle. Typically, I have just used, leftover water bottles purchased, or maybe Powerade, or apple juice like Snapple or whatever. I just will end up reusing those kind of bottles. And I know there's people are always like, oh, the health problems. It's not something that I really focus too much on, and I was okay with my plan. But I'm going to tell you what appealed to me about this water bottle, and I'm not trying to sell you the water bottle, I'm trying to sell you the concept. And, you could do this on your own bottle and what I'm about to describe. But let me show you. I don't know if you can see, I've got water in it now, but along the sides, on this side and on this side, are written the time of day. So the water bottle holds 32 ounces. And so it begins at 8 in the morning and basically helps you maintain your water throughout the day. And once you get down here to at the end of a 1 o'clock hour, you refill it, and up here it starts again at 2 o'clock and goes all the way till basically 8 o'clock at night. And it's so easy to not drink water, and it is so easy to just simply forget. And then oftentimes I'm at the end of my day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had enough water, and I feel it. My lips get dry, my skin gets dry, and I know the value of keeping myself hydrated. And this sits on the counter, and it's like a constant reminder for me: drink my water, drink my water, drink my water. I don't like getting to the end of my day and realizing I need to chug down a whole bunch of water, because then I'm up all night going to the bathroom. So that doesn't work well for me. But what was really great is while I was on my trip, because for me it's even easier to not drink water while we're driving, and I'm going into very dry, arid climates, high elevation where things are really, really dry, and it's still easy for me to take a sip here and there, but not to get all my water in. And this was very handy to have. It just made making sure I was keeping myself hydrated throughout my day while we're on the road or while we're doing things. And it's a cute little water bottle too. I like the colors. Anyway, they have all kinds of them on Amazon. You could probably find the same concept at Walmart or anywhere you go. I am just, like I said, giving you the concept. So you could do this in any way. You could have your own water bottle and divide it up and mark off the hours. You could put reminders on your phone to go off. You can do it in any way that works for you. I just found that this does work for me. I will leave an Amazon link, affiliate link below, so that you can go look at it. Like I said, I'm not trying to sell you on the actual bottle itself, because actually there was a whole lot of options on Amazon. It has also got this little hook, so you can hang it someplace. It's got the strap. Anyway, just really cute and easy to open. Just push the button and it pops open. But I'll just leave that below so you can see it and look, in case you are somebody that struggles with getting that daily amount of water in. I do. So that's why I'm sharing this, because I know there's probably other people that struggle with that too. Since I've had this, it's because it's made it a constant reminder and it's got the little hours marked. I have spent very few days now where I did not get my 64 ounces of water, which is always my goal. If I get 6 cups of water, that's okay with me too, but somewhere in there between 6 and 8 is usually always my goal, and it's just made it like a game changer for me. So anyway, all right, enough of that. Talk. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. I think that wraps up this Coffee with Crystal. And like I said, I'm so happy to be back and so happy to get back into my video routine and all of that, besides my home routine. And today, I still need to finish up some laundry and, of course, the kitchen and all the things just being home again does. But in any case, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. As always, I would love to hear comments on anything that I've talked about. And let's get some conversation going. I'm looking forward to saying hi to all of you again. I've missed you, and I value you all and appreciate you all so much. You mean a lot to me. And I just hope that you have an amazing, blessed weekend and week ahead. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.